and welcome to the D1 podcast. Today on episode 1, we have longtime friend Arun Sachdev. Arun owns one of the most successful accountancy practices within the Midlands. Family-run business, third generation, started from the ground all the way to where it is now, currently living in Dubai. Arun has clients such as your local corner shop to your multi-million pound businesses. CEO of the company, he talks about how he's decided to take a step back, how he runs it from afar, what it took for him to take it to that level, and what he finds are the key traits to make a successful businessman. Give it a go. Okay, Arun Sachdev, take 2. Okay. As honest as ever, welcome to the D1 podcast.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about yourself.
So I'm Arun Sachdev. I'm CEO and owner of Sachdev Chartered Accountants in Coventry. I'm a chartered accountant, father of 2, entrepreneur, traveller, die-hard gooner.
Husband to one, die-hard gooner. Let's go. Gooner. Actually, we didn't even do that in the last one.
That's true.
How do you feel?
Mate, it's really weird. You wait 22 years and my wife recorded me and I rated it till when you finish your last exam. In your head, you're going to go wild, you're going to go crazy, you're going to go out, you're going to get blind drunk and blah, blah, blah. When it happens, you just kind of like take in, you're like, what? I've waited so long for this moment and now it's finally here.
Yeah.
And it's just happiness. It's just joy. It's like you're proud to be an Arsenal fan. You're proud of the manager because, as fans, especially Arsenal fans, we take a lot of shit.
And you slate him a lot.
Who?
You used to slate Arteta a lot.
I never slated Arteta.
You did.
I never slated Arteta.
You were one of the Arteta out boys.
You must be joking.
No, you was.
You need to cut that out.
Was you not?
But we need to start again.
No, we're not going to start that again.
I've always been Arteta in.
I have as well.
I've got an Arteta shirt.
Yeah, but that's from like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I've always been Arteta in.
I thought you were Arteta out.
No.
Okay, fair. No, I think from day one, I think he has done an absolute job.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolute job.
Yeah. And you see the build,
bro. But from 8th to 5th to second, and first, like, is unreal.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's unreal, and we've already lost every Man United fan and Liverpool fan.
I haven't seen them. Like,
well, truth be told, fuck them. This is a real podcast, so fuck them. If they don't want to listen to it, it's all good. But yeah, that for us, like you're going on Saturday, aren't you?
Friday, yeah.
You're gonna go up Friday,
yeah.
And you're gonna make it back for the Sunday parade.
Well, the flight leaves Budapest 9:00 Sunday, so I'm still gonna be hammered.
Yeah.
And so I think we land in Birmingham about
nothing new there.
11:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if I'm sober enough, I'll grab the train and get down to the parade.
And you're there, amazing.
Yeah. So I was there at Burnley.
Yeah.
And then I should have stayed, but I came home Tuesday night. But actually, I'm glad I came home because I watched it with my wife and kids.
Yeah.
And the moment the full time was, so I couldn't believe what happened.
What do you reckon the score's going to be on Saturday?
2-0 Arsenal.
I reckon 3-0 Arsenal. 2 set pieces and a Gyökeres goal.
Yeah, their defense isn't great. Their attacking lineup is amazing, but our defense is amazing.
I think, and that's the battle.
Yeah,
that is the battle. But
but just for the record, I've never been Arteta out ever. I'm the biggest Arteta fan.
If I've got that wrong, I apologise. But I will go through our WhatsApps and see. But confident that there has been an Arteta. But if I've got it wrong, I hold my hands up. That's what the podcast is about, is owning up to your mistakes. No. Okay, perfect. So what do you do?
This is going disaster.
It's all good. We'll keep it real. What do you do?
Your editor must have to be really good.
It's me. I am there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What do Sachdev accountants do?
So we're general accountants. We have a small specialism in dentistry.
Yeah.
But represent sole traders, buy-to-let landlords. So your local businessmen up to £100 million turnover companies.
Okay, and this is what we were just saying a minute ago before I fucked up the edit, the camera. This is why I wanted you to be the first person, because you do represent and you have enough knowledge of your man from your local corner shop to, like you just said, your multi-million pound business, which essentially is going to be everyone's dream.
Yeah,
they drive their Lambos, they drive their Rolls Royces, they drive whatever, but you have a wide variety of spectrum of people, and you have access to their knowledge. Obviously, you also have access to knowledge of your own as well. And that brings me on to the first question. In your opinion, how important is education in success?
So by education, you're talking about formal education, aren't you? There's school, GCSEs, A-levels.
University.
Yeah. Well, also depends on your definition of success.
Yeah.
Before I answer that, the classic question we ask in our practice now is, well, what's the goal? What's the target? Say you're a £500,000 business. I want to be at 1 million. William wants to be at 5 million. 5 million wants to be at 10 million.
Yeah.
But why? And that's a very difficult question, because people say, well, because I'll have a bigger turnover. Okay. And what? Well, if I have a bigger turnover and my margins stay the same, I have more profit. Okay. Now you've got more profit. So what? Well, with the profit, I can buy more stuff. Okay. So now you've got more stuff. So what?
Material.
Yeah. Like, actually, why do you want this business to be bigger? For what's the real reason? The problem is, as humans, we're so short-sighted. It's just to be big for the sake of being big.
Yeah.
Have more money for the sake of having more money.
Yeah.
That's not the solution. The solution is, how is it going to change and better your life?
Yeah.
And you've got to be specific about that, because people think by having more money, you're going to have a better life. It's just not true. It's 100% not true. It's what you do with the money. What are you actually going to do? Are you going to spend more time with your wife? Are you going to spend more time with your family? Are you going to go and see the world? Are you going to do stuff for charity? Whatever it is, but know what you're working for, not just more money.
Yeah.
So, assuming that's your definition of success, then I think education is relevant to a certain point. And then you need to have a strong mind. And I think some sort of education can teach you that. But, to learn how many wives Henry VIII have and the formation of an oxbow lake and knowing what happened in 1066 or the Tudors, I think it's a waste of time. Personally.
Yeah.
I think AI will do all of that for us.
Mm.
I don't think you need to be able to calculate how much the bill comes to and how to split it among 7 people and know that, I've got great math skills. It's just irrelevant.
That's not calculated for.
Correct. And I think probably the generation above us and the generation before that don't want to lose that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think formal education has very limited relevance in the entrepreneurial world.
Yeah.
However, in the rest of the world, I think we need historians. I think we need people who understand the world and understand science and medicine. And I think all this is extremely important.
Yeah.
But your podcast is about
business
and entrepreneurial success. And I think for that, formal education probably is not that important.
I'm actually surprised you said that. So I've known you for, give or take, 20 years.
Mm.
That coming out of your mouth, I'm actually surprised, because one, you're highly educated.
Mm.
You're an accountant. You have to do that.
Yeah.
To become a dentist, which is what you specialize in, you have to go to dentistry school.
Yeah.
So I think that answer's actually shocked me. Actually, to be a lawyer, you have to study law.
Yeah.
But
how many lawyers are millionaires?
And this is the point of the pod. So when I went to university, I studied business management. Now people would say, well, you're a businessman. But how many times have I ever applied the 4 P's of marketing? Yeah. How many times have I looked at, what I can't even remember what half of the stuff I learned.
People who do apply those are your managers.
And that's it, the people you employ.
Correct.
But I'm genuinely surprised you've said that.
Yeah.
Because to do what you do, how many years did you study for?
Well, I mean, when you start taking your GCSEs seriously, 12, 13 years old, get GCSEs, A-levels, university, then my professional qualification.
Yeah.
So I'll say between 12 and 23. So 11 solid years non-stop.
Okay. But that's good that you're honest enough even to say that. So obviously to do what you want to do, or to do what you've fallen into, you have to do that. So you didn't start Sachdev's. Sachdev as an accountancy company, which by the way is a phenomenal accountancy company.
Yeah, thank you.
I think you're, as we just said prior to the previous recording, you're one of the most efficient that I've ever dealt with. And I don't deal with you for everything, but for the gym in particular, which where we're at now, the manner in which you guys work, I think is phenomenal. It's one of the most professional outfits I've ever dealt with. And when you say that you're one of the biggest in Cov, I would hand on heart say you're probably one of the most professional and biggest in the Midlands. You can't obviously compare yourself to like your PwCs, etc. But
I don't. You're right.
Service level, you can.
Well, it depends. There's an accountancy publication called Accountancy Age, and they used to rank turnover over partners.
Okay.
So you could be a £4 billion company like PwC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you've got 40,000 partners, then you're whatever the math is. But if you do turnover over partners, we're one partner.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what our turnover is.
Yeah.
But it's in 7 figures.
Yeah.
And actually, you do turnover over partner, we're probably nationally We're up there. We're probably in the top 250.
I wouldn't have even known that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even known that. But that's again, as a friend, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But as just a general question, like general comment, like that's phenomenal to be able to say.
Yeah.
Top 250, top 500 in the country.
Yeah.
Accountancies are everywhere now.
Yeah.
So, you have to be able to say something along the lines that that's a great selling tool in itself.
Yeah.
But in your opinion, education isn't as important as what it used to be made out to be.
It's not the be all and end all, but I think you need a ground level of education.
Basic education. What's one trait you have that you have found helped you become successful, and what traits do you look for when you're hiring people?
So we have 2 values at the practice, and it's taken us years. When you find these marketing guys and say, well, what are your core values? And you go to, you Google what are core values, and you see the honesty, integrity, blah, blah, blah. Like, you have to be able to live with those values. Like, you live with your values. Your personal values are really core to you.
Yeah.
And over the years, I've only found 2. Number 1 is family.
Yeah.
We treat our clients and we treat our staff like family. At our Christmas party, all partners are invited. I'm always at my clients' and my staff's weddings, their birthdays, because they are like family. Whenever I have a party, they're at my parties. They are like my family, and I treat their families like my family. And 2 is
I vouch for that as well, by the way.
Sorry?
I vouch for that.
Yeah. 2 is authenticity. I used to work at BDO Stoy Hayward, and this is not a dig on them. So when I went there, my trainer, his name was Grant. And he was Grant, Grant, Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was very posh. He spoke very well. And I said, how did you come about working at BDO? I said, I went to university in Birmingham. I stayed here, etc., etc. And I really enjoy it here. Very well spoken. Friday night, we go out for drinks. I'm 2 beers in. Grant disappeared.
Yeah.
And Grant came out.
Yeah.
He stopped from being Grant to became Grant from Leeds.
Yeah.
And mate, he was a different bloke. And I'm like, mate, who is this?
Better or worse?
No, neither.
Yeah.
He just stopped being Grant, the sensible posh guy.
The 9 to 5 Grant.
Yeah, he became Grant.
The actual person.
From Leeds.
Yeah.
Pisshead, boozer, lad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's this? And the next Monday I said to him, Grant, man, you're all crazy. He was like, no, he goes, this is work Grant, and that's Grant.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, cool. That's professional. You've got your work voice. You've got your work stuff. When I'm 42 years old, I'm like, mate, that's bollocks.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to be someone else? Like, your clients don't know who they're dealing with. Like, this is fake. You're pretending to be this posh kind of southerner, but actually you're an average northerner.
Yeah.
So be an average northerner.
Yeah.
Your clients will love you for who you are. And I always say to my team, if I see you out on a Friday night, I want you to be the same person you are on a Tuesday morning than you are on a Friday night. Just be you.
Yeah.
And look, I'm on your podcast. Look, I don't pretend to be anything. I've
No.
got a ponytail. I've got a man bun. I've got a beard. I'm in my shorts.
You come in shorts?
Yeah, because I didn't build my own business to wear a suit and tie.
Yeah.
Like, that's not me. That's just not who I am. And when I wear a suit and tie, I feel like a fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think success, to answer your question, number 1, for me personally, treat people like family.
Yeah.
You don't need to earn anyone's respect. Respect should be given. It's down for that person to maintain it or lose it. So treat people well and just be you. Someone in the world will love you for who you are. You don't need to pretend to be some guy to appeal to the masses, especially as an accountant.
Would you say that's more of a trait that you've got, or is that a trait that you put out for everyone? So like your trait is, and I believe this as well, that your trait is that you're unapologetically authentic.
Yeah.
It doesn't, with you, it didn't matter if we were going out on a Friday night to meet you in Birmingham, or if you're in a professional environment and we're actually having a sit down, you are you.
Yeah.
And the same way, like, you told the story when I did your podcast, and it was, and I was going to watch an Indian film with my mum and my sister, and you were laughing at it.
Yeah.
But I'm unapologetically me. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
unapologetically me as well. Would you say that that's a trait for your success, or would you say that that's a trait for you putting across your company?
Yeah, I think both.
Yeah.
I encourage my staff to behave with me like they would behave with others, and they really do.
Yeah.
When Luke sees you coming to the office, you see him in the gym at 4 a.m. here, and you see him at 10 a.m. in the office. If you're telling me he's a different person, I'll probably be a bit disappointed. But I don't think he is.
No.
I think he'll take the piss out of you here, and he'll take the piss out of you in the office.
Absolutely.
He's the same guy.
Now I think with Luke, and it's obviously getting off subject, but with Luke, it has become more so, he knows me on a professional level.
Yeah.
Now he's getting to see me on a personal. He's like, but he's normal.
Yeah.
So then he's like, I'll be normal with you as well.
But in an accountancy relationship, it's very intimate. It's very close.
Very.
And therefore, you have to really know the person you're telling this to.
Absolutely.
Financial problems, financial stress is the worst.
And it's very personal.
Very personal, but it's the most painful.
Yeah.
People who suffer with money problems, they suffer badly. Health problems are bad as well, but money problems are just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah.
And so you confide in these people, your accountants, your advisors, to look after you and help you get through this hard time. And so there has to be a trust, there has to be a bond.
Of course.
Which is why accountancy practices are such good value, because the lifetime value of a client is huge. It's not just in the years, it's in the decades.
100%. What about when you're employing people then? What's the traits that you look for? Obviously, it's a matter of, so you can treat them like family, but what do you look for? If there's someone out there now that wants to be an accountant or wants to work for an accountancy, or just they're going for a job and they're like, okay, what does an employer of your nature, of your caliber, what do they look for?
Yeah. So technical ability is one, because generally when you enter our practice, you enter as a junior or as a manager. We don't really recruit at the top because we bring the people through. Because you've got to know our culture for 5-10 years.
Absolutely.
To get to kind of senior manager level. So initially, it's just technical ability. Number 2, attitude.
Yeah.
Attitude is key.
Yeah. Carry on, bro.
Yeah. Technical ability, attitude, presentation. You have to...
Personal presentation.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to turn up looking your best.
Yeah.
But equally, looking natural.
Yeah.
If you pull out the best suit you've got, which a candidate did 6 months ago, he thought, I'm going to a job interview. It was his first job. He'd been at the last company for 6 years. Clearly hadn't taken his suit out for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
Must have either lost a lot of weight. The suit was hanging off him. He looked a mess. You can't work for us if you're not presentable.
Yeah.
We are client facing.
Yeah.
You've seen our office. It's beautiful. Like, you want to come to us, you have to impress the clients. So you have to present well, good attitude, technically strong.
Yeah.
Other than that, as long as you're willing to learn.
Yeah.
If you come in with an attitude of, I already know this, this is how I do stuff, and that's how I operate, then that's...
So you have to come in with humility.
Humility and flexibility.
Yeah.
And be open to operate in a way which we operate.
Yeah.
Because we're not your normal accountancy firm. We do stuff very, very different.
Yeah.
We really push ourselves and push our team to think about what they're doing, how they're doing it, how can they do it better and more efficiently, how can we provide the client with an even better service.
Go on, carry on.
So you have to be stronger.
Yeah.
And so you have to have that right attitude.
Would you say that's because you're a small practice, a smaller practice? Or would you say that's because that's the ethos you put on?
Correct. I don't think the size of the practice matters.
Yeah.
I think if we ever get to like 8 figures, I think that attitude, that philosophy will still exist.
Yeah.
And okay, it didn't exist when we were a 6-figure practice.
Yeah.
But I don't think those core values will ever change. I don't think the authenticity will ever change. I don't think our approach to family will ever change. And I don't think that will ever change.
Is that something that you've put on then?
Yeah.
So obviously your accountancy practice has been going for how many years?
54 years.
Wow. Dad started?
Granddad
started, Dad took over, you've come in.
Yeah.
And then do you think by putting your stamp on it, how difficult was that?
Yeah, it was very difficult because you are swimming against the tide.
Yeah.
You've got your clients who've known Dad and Granddad and have known things a certain way. You've got your staff that know things a certain way. You've got your family who have a vested interest, because it's not a financial interest, but they're like, well, the accountancy practice is what got us to where we are. The accountancy practice is what put us through years of education, what gave us our house, what gave us our holidays. That baby has fed us, that cow has fed us, pretty better analogy, for decades.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to change it.
Yeah.
What if it doesn't work?
Of course.
Society, I think, has a big part to play.
Mm-hmm.
Classic one. I told people the other day, I now only work Tuesdays and Thursdays. And a client said to me, so you're basically semi-retired? And I said, yeah. And he said, but you can't. I said, why not? He goes, because you're only 42.
Yeah.
I went, he goes, and I'm 65 and I'm still working full time. I went, that's your problem.
Yeah.
He's like, no, but you can't do it. Well, why can't I do it?
Yeah.
And I think society has this this blueprint of what your life should be. And therefore, when you break it, you're upsetting the blueprint, you're
course.
upsetting the masses. And so you receive friction all the time. Clients will kind of say, but I've always paid that fee. I've always done my work this way. I've always dealt with that person. I say, yeah, but your fees aren't those fees anymore. I'm not doing your tax return for 50 quid, uncle. I'm sorry. That member of staff isn't on, so you're going to deal with this person. And this is how we want the paper, and this is why we want it by. I've always delivered it on the 31st of January in a paper bag.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore.
Doesn't work like that now, yeah.
And so you upset a lot of people, but you need to make room. You need to clear that so you can get focused on where you're trying to go.
Was that because of the type of clientele? Or was that because of the manner in which you worked? I would say, from the outside looking in, I don't know obviously all of your clients, but I would say knowing you, you would have raised the standard. And although you still have, you know, your shopkeeper, your one-man band, stuff like that, you've always been highly ambitious. So you've gone for the big fish.
Yeah.
You're not a small fish kind of guy. Yeah. You're very much so like, okay, I'm a small fish, but let me swim in a big pond. Yeah. So is that because you've gone for the bigger clients, so you've had to level up your standard? Or is it a matter of, it doesn't matter if you're small, if you're big, this is the standard?
Yeah, both. Okay. So I'm never going to turn anyone down. Client comes to me and says, I've got 2 buy-to-let properties and I want my tax return doing. No problem. It'll be £400. Oh, but XYZ charge 200. Go to XYZ.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? During the next half an hour, me trying to negotiate? Like, I haven't got time for that.
Yeah.
Because I've got that guy paying me $4,500 a month.
Yeah.
And you're arguing over £400 a year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, like, I want you to join us because I want that £400. I want that to come in. I want you to be our client. Yeah. But if this is a case of, well, I want the price down, I want this, I want it done that way, I'm like, mate, your turnover is going to be 0.01% of it. Like, it's not important.
But you know your worth.
Correct. Whereas my dad, he would have done everything for that £400 client.
Yeah.
Because he was so scared of losing clients. Because he wasn't as ambitious. He probably physically didn't have the ability to go out and get clients. But I had a different focus. I had a different vision. And that came from the clients that I seemingly started to attract, who lived a totally different life to how I lived, how my family lived, how anyone I knew lived. And so you compare their life with your life and you're like, that can't be real. Like, how you live your life, that's some fantasy shit.
Yeah.
That's not real. Real is waking up at a stupid o'clock, working 12 hours a day, Monday to Saturday, having half a day off on Sunday and doing the same again. And struggle is normal.
Yeah.
And that's just life. Work for 45 years, retire, die. That's it. That was the blueprint. That was the blueprint for most people.
Yeah.
Until someone shows you a different path and takes you on their journey. So I had a client who did an event at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in 2017 and took me to Dubai. My vision of my opinion of Dubai was this devout Muslim, very strict place in the desert where there was no alcohol, there was no women. And then he took me there and he showed me Dubai, and I was like, this is not what I expected.
And now you live there.
And now I live there.
Yeah. Now you live there.
It's nuts. It's like 9 years later. I kind of live in the middle of Dubai, and it's madness. But you need role models. You need people to take you. And I think where we're from, me and you, working class guys from Coventry, we didn't have enough role models.
Yeah.
We were just in a close-knit working class community. And I think this is the problem with the UK in general, certainly in poor towns like where we're from, in Coventry. Whereas life is okay as long as we all suffer together. As long as it's miserable for all of us, then we can all rejoice in the fact that at least we're miserable together. Whereas someone like Dubai, like, misery is not a thing. Like, it's dog eat dog.
That's such a good way of putting it, because that's how I've always thought. What if I want more?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want it. Like, what if I want more? Can I go and get more?
You can, but what will the people around you think?
And that's another question further down the line. But that's where, when they say your circle is so important, and if your circle just involves one person and it's you got a strong circle, because you can't let yourself down.
Correct.
But like, that's such a good way to put it. what's the worst flaw for a person in business, and what's the biggest mistake you've made in business?
The worst flaw is focusing on the money. Ultimately, the money should not be why you do what you do. Yeah. The money should just be the most important byproduct of it. Take Premier League footballers. At 5 years old, those footballers didn't want to be multimillionaires.
Yeah.
They wanted to play football.
Mm.
They wanted to get better at football. If you just say, I just want to be rich, I just want to be rich, I just want to be rich. Those footballers, and you speak to some Premier League footballers, and they'll talk about players that didn't make it because they weren't interested in working on their first touch. They weren't focused on their free kick. They were focused on the building development that they were doing on the side.
The lifestyle.
Yeah. Just sort your first touch out and you'll make more money being a footballer
Yeah.
than doing that development.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same thing here, is that I want to be rich, I want to be rich. Money, 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 money. But your product is shit.
Mm.
Your service is shit. Your staff are useless. And what do they want to make more money? So they cut the staff.
Yeah.
They treat the staff badly.
Yeah.
And so focusing on the money and solely the money is the biggest mistake. Perfect your craft, whatever that business is. If you're a cleaning business, get the best cleaners, use the best products, get the best customers, deliver the most service. Don't use poor staff, poor products, turn up late,
Yeah.
and, have your staff smoking outside every 10 minutes. Whatever your product it is, perfect your product. Be the best at that, and the money will follow. Yeah.
You've got to love it.
I don't think you necessarily have to love it. Look, I'm not shooting myself in the foot here, and I'm very open with my clients. Look, I don't love accountancy.
Yeah.
I don't wake up in the morning. You love your job. You love your job.
You love working hard.
No.
I don't think you shy away from working hard.
No, I think I do.
You do?
I'm very focused now in what, and I'm sure we'll come on to this, as the evolution of any businessman. I don't think hard work particularly matters. I read a great quote: "If hard work counted, the donkey would own the farm."
Okay.
And it's true.
Yeah.
I don't think hard work matters at our level. I think when you're learning, you have to. Messi doesn't train that hard, but
Yeah.
trust me, 15 years ago he did.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that what you are providing the world, what you're providing with your customers are the most important people. They're the people that pay you, is the best. And you've got to become damn good. I had to become a damn good accountant to get a great accountancy practice. Now, I don't do that as much. I don't think you should work too hard, because I think if you really want to grow, you've got to get the best people in the best positions.
Yeah.
And you should be able to, certainly at our age, we're in our kind of early 40s, you should be able to sit back a bit.
38.
These are the years. It's 38.
They
You wish.
They're fine.
Look, our kids are young.
Yeah.
Our wives are hot. Yeah. I think the world is best up, because I think you study for 0 to 18 or 0 to 16 up to 23, 24. Then you work your bollocks off from 24 to 65. But in that time when you're working your bollocks off, it's when you've had your kids and when you met your wife, and when they're the best years of your life. But you're ruining it by working.
By working all the way through it, yeah.
It would be great if you could educate for maybe 14, 15 years. I don't think you need to go too far. Work for 15, 20 years. Then have a break. Have your wife and kids. Enjoy on your kids. Then when your kids grow up, you work for a bit more, then you retire.
Yeah.
That would be ideal, but it's not the situation. But we give our best years to working our bollocks off. People in their 40s are in the best time of their career. They're working crazy hours, missing out on their kids.
It's public success, but private failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas you and I get to be with our wife and kids all the time. It's great. But if I was doing what was traditionally taught to us, which is hard work.
All the time.
Well, when am I going to see my children? Or when they're 18?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to spend some time with my kids because they're going off to uni.
Yeah.
You had 18 years. You're just picking it up 3 months before.
Yeah, literally. Take them out twice and that's it.
Exactly.
That's why, like, when you say stuff to me like, let's do this, I know I take it a little bit too far.
Yeah.
But I'm too attached.
I think
I live it through them now.
But I think you miss out. Like let's say this weekend with the Champions League final. Okay, I've never been to an away overseas football match. Yeah, but if not now, when?
Next season, because we're going to win it again.
Well, yeah, but even next season you won't come.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and it's like we're both Arsenal fans, And the second we made it, I just booked the flight.
Yeah.
And I said to Sonia, "You're coming with me."
Yeah.
And she said, "What about the kids?" I said, "The kids can stay with my mum."
Yeah.
If I had your kind of money, I'd have brought the kids with me. Do you know what? Because there's no guarantee of anything. There's no guarantee that our money will still be here next year. There's no guarantee that Arsenal will make it in next year's championship. And you think back, and this is, if you ever come on to my decision to move to Dubai, this will come up. But in 10 years' time, let's say we don't reach another Champions League final for 10 years. I'll say to you, Amr, in 2026, why didn't you come?
Yeah.
What's your answer?
Honestly, that's I think that is a big difference to me and you. I'm very impulsive, but when it comes to stuff like that, I genuinely just want to share it with them.
But all of us will go. It's half term.
Yeah, but I know, but I just want to share it with them in my bubble.
Okay.
Like that little bubble of being in the living room, the routine of them putting their red lights on, putting his Gunnosaurus down. Like that's what he knows. That's what Saya knows. Like the seasons I know that. So when they're in that environment, like they're protected, I feel relaxed because I'm just with my team. But I don't know if I will or I won't, but I just know in the moment that that's what feels right. So I always just go with what feels right, even if it means you're probably really disappointed. You're just like, oh, you're such a waste, man. You're never going to come out like that. But in my head, I just know I'm going to have such a blast with them.
Which is, look, and that's lovely.
Yeah.
And it's not a criticism.
I know, but that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like is what I would have done 20 years ago. But I just think when it comes to stuff like that, because I feel different when I'm with them, and because what you were saying a minute ago, like you work, I miss out on so much with them, as you do with your two. Then if I can spend that time with them, I'll spend it. Like it's just along the lines of that. But that's fair. What's your biggest mistake as a businessman?
Oh, mate, how long you got?
Yeah,
I've made loads.
Yeah,
and I'm not ashamed of it. I've made loads of mistakes. I think there's one particular mistake. I'm a terrible recruiter.
Yeah,
I recruit on people I like.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, what happens, and it's happened, say 10 times in my career. I've interviewed someone, I've interviewed a friend, I've given friends jobs and stuff like that. And it's been terrible. They can't do the job. They're vindictive. They were just terrible recruits. And I never learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I never learned my lesson. And now I have.
Yeah.
But hire slow, fire
fast. Yeah.
And I did the exact opposite.
Yeah.
I would take ages. I would get to the 2-year mark.
Yeah.
When UK law, the way that it works. But effectively, I'll give chance after chance after chance until we got to month 22 or month 23.
And you're gone.
And then I'd have to pull the trigger. And I think that was wrong because I should have pulled the trigger in the first or second week. But, a lot of times you've got to pay big recruitment fees to recruit. Yeah. Just think, well, I paid $6,000 to get you in.
That's because it's a professional job, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and good quality accountants are not there. Yeah. You've got to pay people to go and get them.
Of course.
They send you a CV and send you a bill for 20% of their salary. You think,
yeah.
I'm in the wrong business here.
Yeah.
But then you spent that money. It's like, well, I don't want to lose that money.
Yeah.
But you're going to pay that person 30, 40, 50 grand to do jack shit.
And it could be losing you a couple of $100,000 on the back end. Yeah.
Exactly. And you've got to be brave. So now we negotiate very hard with recruiters. I interview at least once. So we have a pre-interview, full interview, and then potentially a third interview.
Yeah.
We test them in the interview.
Yeah.
Make sure you can do the job, really push their knowledge. Whereas before, I was just like, tell me about yourself. You seem like a nice guy. Yeah. Fancy a job.
Yeah. Your Facebook profile looks like it's going to be good fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You seem like a laugh.
Yeah.
And you like football. Great. Like, come and get a job. But it's just.
But isn't that the beauty of learning?
Yeah.
We're never too old to learn.
Correct.
And it doesn't matter how successful you are, like you're saying, you've endless mistakes.
Yeah.
You're going to make mistakes on a daily basis. Yeah. Now you don't dwell on your mistakes.
No.
You don't let it eat you up.
And you learn from them. More importantly, you learn from them. And you have to be critical. Like, I take a lot of responsibility for what goes wrong. And things do go wrong. And I take it on myself. But the key is, well, how do we rectify this?
Yeah.
I'm a terrible communicator. Really bad at replying to emails, really bad at answering phones. Like, I know that. I know that's bad about me. So I tell the client, I'm not very good at communicating. So if you want a response, I just speak to the practice manager, speak to the MD or my wife, because I'm not going to be able to get, because it's just who I am. And at 42, I'm not really going to change.
Yeah.
It's just who I am. If you want me, you've got to kind of take me warts and all.
Yeah.
Whereas before I would just shy away from it. Whereas now I tell people openly, I'm really bad at responding.
Yeah.
So if you want a response, do this.
Yeah. Fair. But at least that's honest enough.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think is the difference between success and failing?
Well, apart from the obvious, one, success is success, failure is failure.
Yeah.
But what's your question? Like what are the characteristics of a successful person?
What do you think is a fundamental difference between success and failure? Is it work ethic? Is it timing? Is it you just didn't do it? Is it just is a bad idea? So when we spoke last, you said to me that I was a man that was full of ideas. I think when I responded, I was like, and you said, but some of the ideas didn't work out. So my response to you was, but it was the timing. So it's not that it's a bad idea, it's the timing of the idea. So the failure of them ideas was down to timing. But you have X amount of clients, 1,000+ clients you've got. You've seen people which have made it. You've seen businesses which have made it. You've taken companies through administration. They've belly up gone. What's the difference, in your opinion, between the companies that make it and the companies that don't?
Yeah, I understand your question. And the immediate thing is to now go into my client database and think, who was riding high and then crashed, and what happened, and why? So I think in this world we live in, a social media world is crazy. I mean, this podcast is quickly based on social media. And I think your image in social media and your image to the world and being semi-famous is a big part of it. But when that's your driver and you conveniently turn your eyes away from what the numbers are actually telling you, because you don't want to believe that, you don't want to face the reality, that's a big startup. So we had a very big client go bust about 1.5 years, famously go bust all over social media. I won't tell you who it was. But,
okay, I know, yeah.
But you know it.
Yeah.
Because they were not interested in getting their accounts done.
Yeah.
Because you know what the accounts would show them how much trouble they're in.
Yeah.
And that they don't want to face. What they want to face is having 1 million views on TikTok.
Yeah.
That is what they think the drive of their business is.
Yeah.
So your personal ego, your personal brand, everyone knowing you, appearing on lots of podcasts, that kind of stuff, was your driver. But you're only as good as your actual business. The back engine needs to be working extremely well.
Yeah.
And then you confront a nice business.
Yeah.
What you can't do is live in this facade. And I think social media plays a big part in that. It's your online presence.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, the ship is sinking.
Couple of million views on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. It doesn't put money in the bank.
Correct.
Doesn't put money in the bank.
Anything in the bank.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to give good customer service. You've got to sell quality, whatever it is that you're selling.
Yeah.
And social media will help bring that in. But if you're driven by your social media fame, I think that's a huge mistake. So pretending to be successful versus actually being successful is a big factor.
Which is exactly why I wanted to do this. So I speak to obviously a lot of people. As you know, we wanted to both speak on a public stage to help people.
Yeah.
More so, help people in business become successful business people. I was having a conversation with one person and it was, I've got a 7-figure business. But you're losing 400, you've turned over $1 million, but you've lost £400,000. This was genuinely the conversation. So, and you're teaching people business.
Yeah.
So you've turned over $1 million and you've lost 400 grand. How are you teaching people business? Yeah. You haven't made a pound, but you're teaching people how to make a pound. Yeah. It's impossible. And that is where social media is unreal. Like what the eye see, the mind believes. I've always gone off this. So and that's why I don't flash things on social media, because I don't want to be seen like that. Yeah. Like, how many times have you posted your Lambo on Instagram? You don't see, you can't do it. You're not interested in it. Yeah. But that's why I want to do this, because I want people to see it from, okay, there's real success out there. It's not none of the fake shit you see on Instagram. Yeah. There's real people, down to earth people, successful people that just genuinely have grafted their ass off, which I think is one of the most key ingredients to success, is the hard work.
Yeah, I know you do. And you're a big believer in it. And it's worked for you.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you. Look, Sachdev's wouldn't have been Sachdev's if I didn't spend between 2006 and 2022. That's a long time. In a lot of people's eyes, it's not a long time, but it's 18 years
It's a long time.
of a lot of graft.
Nothing but hours.
All hours. I'm talking, especially when we're building the office, I'm talking 15, 16 hours a day.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know yourself, sometimes you just drive past the office 7:00 at night.
And you're there.
There'll be one light on, it'll be me. But at some point, if you want to achieve the next level,
Yeah.
you know, the example I always give, and I know I've got a nice car, but I'm not actually a car guy, so forgive me on this. But the guy who stacks shelves at Sainsbury's works really, really hard. So does the guy that runs BT. But I think at some point you've got to shift gears. You've got a little 4-gear car, you've got to 4th gear. Yeah. You're driving at 6,000 revs, right?
Yeah.
You're going to burn out. You now need to shift cars. You now need to shift gear. You now need to become better at the next level. You need to keep upgrading. And so I don't do 40, 50, 60 hours a week anymore. I do 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. But those 10 hours, I only focus on the stuff that I need to focus on. Yeah. I'm not checking tax returns. I'm not checking accounts. Do you know why? Because I can't add any more. My team are now so good. Take Apollo. There's no point in me looking at the accounts because Luke has already nailed it.
Yeah.
I can't add anything. But if I start now checking every single client's accounts, guess what? The marketing's not going to get done.
Simple.
The socials aren't going to get done.
Yeah.
My kids aren't going to see me. My wife's not going to see me. And I'm not going to enjoy the things that I'm not going to be able to go to the Arsenal. I'm not going to be able to go to Dubai because I'm just doing stuff that doesn't need to be done. And I think at some point you need to shift. And so the biggest, your initial question was difference in success and failure. I've got my answer for you. The biggest shift is shifting from operator to manager to entrepreneur.
Yeah.
There's a great book called The E-Myth. Best business book ever. I would say 50% of my clients are very good at what they do. But someone has told them, well, you should run your own business. So you're a dentist, phenomenal dentist. And I have this conversation every week with dentists. I'm a great dentist. I earn 120,000 pounds a year. I want to buy my own practice. Cool. Why? Well, my practice owner is taking 50% of what I make. Maybe he's giving 50% to you. I'm the one who does the work. Cool. But what makes you think you're going to be a good businessman? Well, because then I get to do the work and keep the other 50%. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You get to keep 100%.
Perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what about the rent? What about the wages? What about the electric? What about the rates?
Stock.
What about the stock? What about the accountancy fees? What about the legal fees? What about the employment problems? What about all the subscriptions you've got to pay? What about the marketing? And then you see the clogs turning and go, there's being a dentist and there's being a businessman. So the classic one that's in the book is about a woman who bakes cakes, pies or something. Amazing at making pies, beautiful pies. She works in this bakery and she makes incredible pies. And what do her family say to her? You should start your own pie shop. Okay. How many pies do you reckon you're going to make when you own your own pie shop? 0. Do you know why? Because you're recruiting. You're dealing with the accountants. You're dealing with staff. You're dealing with everything other than making pies. So you can be very good at what you do. I think, well, I'm really good at washing cars. I'm going to start a car washing business. Right? It doesn't work.
Simple.
To run a business successfully, you need to be a businessman. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to be actually very good.
Yeah.
My mentor in accountancy practice never worked in an accountancy practice. He was an accountant, bought his father-in-law's accountancy practice, had never done a set of accounts in his life. And I asked him on my podcast, is that a blessing or a curse? He said, it's a blessing because I never needed to do a set of accounts.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't do it. You know, you're lucky you run a gym, but imagine you didn't know. I reckon I could. No, actually, I couldn't. But there'll be people who look like me.
Yeah.
I mean, I look better than I used to, but who could run a successful gym.
Yeah.
Because to run a successful gym, you don't actually need to know how to bench press perfectly. You need to know about equipment, people, and marketing. That's what you need to know. Just because you can deadlift 200 kilos, I don't know if that means anything. But that doesn't mean you're going to be a good gym owner. Just because you're a unit doesn't make you a great gym owner.
There's a very big difference, like you're saying, between running a business and actually running the business.
Yeah.
So I genuinely believe as an entrepreneur, if you're a solid entrepreneur, you can run any business.
Yeah.
So just giving you an example, obviously when I came in here, I'm a gym goer, but I've never ran a gym.
Yeah.
But I run this like a shop. So a gym has two elements to the gym. There's the membership, and then there's the corner shop, which is the supplements, penny market. So why was the gym failing before? The gym was failing before because the membership wasn't good and because the corner shop had failed. But they didn't understand that there was two businesses there. So corner shop's got no stock, got no profit.
Correct.
It's common sense stuff.
Yeah.
But when you're an entrepreneur and when you've run multiple businesses, and this is one of the questions, actually, I'll ask you that now instead. You understand kind of what it takes. So I believe personally there's a recipe. I think there's key traits to being an entrepreneur. And a lot of that revolves around adapting. The quicker you can adapt to a situation, doesn't matter if you're going to adapt to it in the wrong way or the right way, because even if you adapt to it in the wrong way first, you'll adapt again and you'll make it the right way. So that is that. I'll skip a question and I'll go into that. So what do you think is the recipe of a good businessman?
I think number one, knowing your customers
Yeah.
is key. Take the gym. The guys who ran it before you got involved, incredible athletes, phenomenal build.
I'm an athlete as
Great.
well.
You are.
Thank you.
If you see you on the football pitch, I disagree. But the guys who ran it before, you see them and they'd sit in our boardroom and like, you guys are built, you guys are units. But no idea about how to run a business. No idea. They didn't know what their customer wanted. They weren't looking outside. Well, why are people going to these other places? What do we need to provide for our customers? They're just looking at, well, what do we like? Yeah. And I think that's similar to the whole operator to entrepreneur. I'm really good at making pies, but how do I turn this into a business?
Yeah.
How do I make the other people understand what we're supposed to deliver? So yeah. What was the question?
So like, give me some traits that you think, what's the recipe to build a good
Yeah.
entrepreneur? So I would say,
Laser focus, I would say, is one. Like, be absolutely sure what it is you want to do. And what are you trying to achieve? My dream was to live in Dubai. So you go backwards, go right. In order to live in Dubai, what do I need to have? What needs to happen? And you work backwards from that. Well, I need to have a damn good team.
Yeah.
So you build a team. I need to have a solid client base. You build a client base. I need to set a certain level of profitability. You build that. So you work backwards from what your North Star is. Like, what is it that you see for your life? Like, what do you fantasize about? And I know sometimes when you think about fantasies, it's the strip club we used to go to. But generally, fantasy is kind of deemed as a sexual term.
Yeah.
To make it non-sexual, like what is your dream life? You know, and when you sketch that out and make it as wild and as crazy as you can, but make it about you, make it 100% true, make it 100% authentic. What is your dream life? How do I live that? And you have to be selfish about it. My dream life was leaving Coventry. I wanted to live in Dubai. That was my dream. And I knew I'd miss my family, and I miss my dog, and I miss my house, and I miss my environment. But that's what I wanted. And I had to create loads of steps to make that happen. And that's all you do. That's all you focus on. Like, focus on your goal and don't really worry about people around you.
Do you think entrepreneurs have to have a certain X factor? Like the X factor?
No, I think you have
to have... Or do you think anybody can be an entrepreneur?
No, I don't think anyone, because I think there's not the X factors that we have to have, but I think there's certain factors we can't have.
Okay.
And I think I would say the majority of the public don't have the characteristics.
Yeah.
They have the characteristics which will stop them becoming an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I think we're very focused on other people. I think it's what's great about Britain, right? We all love and care for each other. We're all a big community, but the entrepreneurs can't really care about that too much. You know, ultimately, being any leader, whether it's in business or in politics, is making decisions. most people don't have to make decisions in their life. Their
Yeah.
life is fairly routine. They get up, they go to work, they come home, they have dinner, they live the same life. There's routine. And when they have to make decisions, they really struggle, you know. Whereas entrepreneurs, business people, politicians, leaders, we make decisions just in seconds.
Yeah.
99% will be right, 1% will be wrong. We don't dwell on the 1%, we just focus on the 90%. And it's that ability to make thousands of decisions a day. That's what business
Instant,
people
yeah.
do. And I don't think I say normal people, but your day-to-day kind of person doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And
The ability to think on your feet.
correct, and adapt quickly. That's the X factor. So I think it's a given for business people, but I think for Joe Public, it's not something
Difficult.
that they can do that easily. And I think that the ability to make decisions quickly and act on them. Take Mikel Arteta. Forgotten what
Best
game
manager ever.
Phenomenal. I've forgotten what game it was. He took off. He took someone off and put Declan Rice
Rice
as a
at right back. Yeah. Burnley.
Was it Burnley?
Burnley, yeah.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Burnley. It wasn't Burnley because I was at the game and a mutual friend of ours was calling me, what the hell has he done?
Or is the one before
It
Burnley?
was the one before Burnley. I can't remember who it was.
Fulham? Either way.
Fulham, I think, was already 3-0 up.
Someone got injured. Ben White got injured.
Yes.
And then he put Declan
And he
at
put
right
Declan
back.
right back.
Yeah.
And brought Zubabendi on.
Yeah.
And then quickly changed it.
Went
He
to
knew
Park.
he'd made a mistake.
Yeah.
And he knew he's going to upset. You can't sub us up.
course.
That's the ultimate diss in
Yeah.
football. But he knew he'd made a mistake. I would say most managers
Yeah.
won't have made that call.
Mm.
They would say they've got to defend themselves.
See it through.
Yeah. He was just like, I fucked up here.
Yeah.
And he changed it. And I really respected him for that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's amazing. Wenger would never have done that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wenger was very stubborn.
Yeah.
But he was also a visionary.
Correct.
So it did different.
But in this instance, and that's the difference between, like we went back to hiring and firing. You know, I knew this person was wrong or these people were wrong, but I just didn't have the bottle to
See it through.
to sack them.
What's the best advice you can give someone that's looking to start out? And what's the best advice you can give someone that's struggling?
It goes back to my initial belief and philosophy. What is going to make your business great? Why will people come to you? Don't be in a normal job and go, I'm going to do it on my own. I'll start my own business. I'm really good at doing accounts and tax. I'll just start my own firm.
Mm.
That is not a reason. Yeah. If you're going to be successful in business, you need to create a valuable business that brings in cash without you. Otherwise, you've just given yourself a job.
Yeah.
You now just work for yourself.
Yeah.
That's called being self-employed.
Yeah.
A window cleaner works for himself. But when he's not cleaning windows, his earnings are nothing. A milkman works for himself, a taxi driver. These are all self-employed people.
Mm.
There's a difference between self-employed and being a business owner.
Mm.
A business owner is someone who can go away for days, weeks, months, in my case, a year, and the business still makes money. Just as much money. And if you're a really good business, it makes more money without you, which is a separate lesson in itself.
Yeah.
Like, well, maybe I'm the problem. How has the business made more money when I'm not here? Maybe what's changed? Me.
You.
Maybe I'm the problem. And recognizing that, whereas most of us, especially men, our ego won't allow that. But be absolutely sure why you're going into business. What are you doing it for? And I would say the reason why a lot of businesses fail is because they didn't know why they were going into business. They were just good at what they did. The chef opens a restaurant. No, you're a great chef. Cook, brother.
Cook. Simple.
Be in the kitchen and cook.
Cook at home. Get a business partner in that knows how to run a business.
Yeah. Or go into partnership with a restaurant. Say, I will be the chef.
Yeah.
But marketing and front of house and service, and like, mate, that's not my thing.
It's going to take away from the recipe.
Correct. So you pull the chef out of the kitchen. You don't have a business.
100%.
And that epitomizes the classic mistake people make.
Yeah.
And someone who is struggling, number one, be honest and say, well, why are we struggling? What is it? Our clients leaving. Why are they leaving? The problem is when a customer leaves, we fall out with them in most businesses. So you don't have the opportunity to say, well, why are you leaving?
Yeah.
I know you're leaving, and that's fine. I respect your decision. Can you please just tell me what it is that we have done wrong that has caused you to leave? And someone will tell you,
Of course they will.
especially another entrepreneur.
Of course they will.
I'm very honest with in restaurants, when someone says, how was the experience? 99% goes, yeah, it was great, mate. And we just don't go back. I go, mate, it was terrible. And this is why. And they like that because no one's telling them the truth. You know, and it happens, clients ring me up and saying, look, mate, you've got to sort this out. This is what's going on. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't get it and go, no, mate, that's not the case. Well, if you're losing customers, your costs are out of control, people aren't doing what they're supposed to do, like, be 100% honest with yourself and look as to what is actually going wrong and what can you do to change it. In my instance, it was a case of someone needs to run this business better than me. So I recruited an MD.
Yeah.
I don't say that I run the business. I generally don't run the business because if I run the business, mate, honestly, it'd be a disaster.
Yeah.
Nothing will get done because I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
you're only going to be good at something that you enjoy.
Of course.
And if you don't enjoy, like me, sitting there and going through a set of accounts and looking at profit loss and a balance sheet and a cash flow, I'm
Heart's
sitting
not
there. I'm going to avoid it. I will keep postponing that meeting. I'll keep cancelling it. Eventually, you're going to get pissed off and leave. So I'd rather the people who enjoy doing that do it. And I'll pop my head in at the end and say, hello, let's go for lunch. Tell me about your new haulage business that you're thinking of. I want to know about the new.
You just want to do the lunch, innit?
I just want to do the lunch. I want to do the lunch and the football.
And the paddle. That's it.
Oh, mate, the paddle. Paddle's a whole new.
If you had to start again, what would you do different? And for those that are struggling to start, what's step number one?
Yeah. So it's a difficult one to answer because like with you, I'm extremely happy where I am. And therefore, if you said to me, if you could start life again, what would you do differently? Well, if it got me here, I would do nothing differently.
Yeah.
But in an ideal world, in a philosophical world, I would have run an accountancy practice, but not been an accountant.
Okay.
Because I think for years, being the accountant, the business became about me. Look, you didn't join Sachdev's because of Sachdev's. You joined Sachdev's because of Arun.
Yeah.
Which is lovely.
Because of Arun.
Because of Arun. Yeah, in the third person. Which is lovely. But in 2026, if clients are joining because of me, great. I mean, people watch the podcast and say, I want to be with that guy. But you're not going to have access to me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to be the guy that you speak to. But for 20 years, I was the guy.
Yeah.
I took all the phone calls, 300, 400, 500 emails a day. And you just drown. And you just work so hard, so long hours. And it ruins you. You let yourself go physically, mentally, financially. You look at it, go, hey, I could have a 9 to 5 working for PwC and I'd be earning 3 times the amount. And I think that is a problem with most accountancy practice owners and Asian businesses in general. They just work their nuts off. And I think as a generation of people who would be proud of that, they'd be proud to say, yeah, I work. And I know you're probably in that camp. I don't think that is what life is about. So if I could start again, I would not have trained as an accountant. I would have run the accountancy practice, but I would have got the accountants in.
Yeah.
So you do that. I'm going to build this. Yeah. If I was a builder, I wouldn't be the bricklayer.
Of course you would.
I'd be architect.
Simple.
I'd be like, I designed it. You build it. I want to go and build the next one.
Yeah. And go for lunch at the same time.
Correct. It's all about the lunch. The lunch is my favorite thing. I wake up and Sonia's like, what's your plan for the day? I'm like, lunch. That's my focus. And for those who are struggling, it's the same, goes with the same message. Design your life.
Yeah.
Look, you only have one life.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're born, we live, we die. And we don't know how long that journey is going to be. Like, I want to go out thinking, it was sick. Too many of us have gone too early. Look at Sati. Yeah. I was Sati's accountant.
Yeah.
And everything for Sati was about the future. I don't think I'm being out of order by discussing this because I love him. But not just him, just anyone. It was focused on the future.
Yeah.
Doing it for the future.
5 years' time, 10 years' time.
I'm building it so that they won't have to do something. And I've got a few issues with that. Number one, my dad died at 53.
Yeah.
He didn't make it to the retirement age, the end. He didn't get that. Yeah. And a lot of people don't get that. Sati was always focused on the future. He never got there. And you know, nothing is guaranteed. You just have to do what you can at this moment of time, because it's going to be taken away from you at any point of life.
You're living life, but you're forgetting to live.
Yeah.
That's the thing. What you're saying.
Exactly.
That's phenomenal, bro.
Exactly.
That's phenomenal. In your opinion, how important is confidence and how important is your inner circle? How has that helped you in building your empire?
Yeah, but both are essential. The inner circle is hard, I'll tell you why. But confidence is key. You have to, if you don't believe that you are the best and that your product is the best, your customers will never believe it. You know, I've met some accountants and, you know, we do a business acquisition or something. My client's buying their business. And I go into that meeting with the seller and their accountant. I'm like, this is your guy. Like, really? Like, this is your guy? Like, I don't know how these people have got there, but you've got to own that situation. You've got to go in and go, I know I'm the best. I know that no one can do a better job than me. No one is better than my team, you know, which I've spent years building. Like, and I instill that confidence in them. I tell them, look, you are the best. We're the biggest firm in Cov. We're the biggest firm in the Midlands. Like, you're playing for Arsenal. Yeah. These other teams, they don't mean nothing anymore.
Yeah.
We're the best team now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're on this team. You're with us. Like, and that gives them the boost. And you hear my clients on the phone my staff on the phone to clients in meetings, mate, it's beautiful. And when you're in the office and you're with Luke, like, I don't have to come in. I just see that you two are happy. You're in that zone. You're just doing your thing. I love that. It's not boring. It's not, you're not owning him. He's confident in what he's delivering to you.
Yeah.
He doesn't need me in there to hold his hand. Your inner circle is essential. It's absolutely essential. But to create an inner circle is very difficult, because your circle don't really want to let you go. You've got your 5 best mates and you've grown up together since you were 10, 11 years old. Look, 4 of them, none of them are going to, none of them are you. None of them want to get to where you want to get to. Yeah. But it's going to be very difficult for them to let you go to another circle. And second of all, like, how do you even find a new circle to get to? I was very lucky of my practice. You know, clients would be recommended and I would get to become friends with these guys running 5, 10, 15, 20, and now £100 million businesses. And because I'm their guy, I naturally got into that. But if I wasn't an accountant, I'm not sure how I would enter that circle. But once you're in, your life changes. You talk and you learn from people who operate at a different level. The way that they think, their beliefs are the exact opposite of what we've been taught. And that's the biggest part. It's unlearning what we've been taught. For how long? 40 years? And someone's telling you that everything that you've been doing has been wrong. You're like, okay. And then you resist at the start, but eventually they break you down and they're like, you have to do this. You are not the guy, Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know your film's called Sachdev's and I know you're not the guy, because the proof's there. If I said to you, I haven't lost weight in 6 years, and you're like, why not? I was like, I'm training every day and I'm eating less. What are you going to say to me? Talking shit.
Simple.
It's biology.
We'll recognize the real answer very quickly.
Correct.
So like when you used to say to me, I'm doing runs.
Yeah.
And then I'd see you and I'm like, but you can't be running far enough.
Yeah,
or you can't be running fast enough.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's something fundamentally going wrong.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like we'll recognize the real answer straight away.
Exactly.
And like with yourself, again, that's why it's so good to have someone like you there, because like you're saying, you have access to that inner circle via your client base. For someone like me, I only had access to people in my circle.
Correct.
So when you're all saying like, how do you get it? I got it by networking. That was confidence, because I wasn't a confident guy. Yeah. But by working hard and getting a nice car, it opened doors.
Correct.
Different.
Yeah.
But
that's exactly what happened to me. So when I bought my Lambo, I joined Supercar Drivers Club. And sitting with those guys, look, in normal life, me and you go to, I don't know, the pub in Stychel. other than me and you, we can't have a conversation with how much you're going to spend on your next Lambo.
Yeah.
Asking between 250 and 300,000 pounds. That's not a conversation
Yeah.
that 99% of people can have.
Yeah.
And if they did hear us having it, they'd think we're a couple of dicks.
Absolutely.
So that circle doesn't exist where we are. So
Yeah.
you join supercar dealers, and now suddenly,
You're in the
supercar
circle.
drivers, suddenly everyone's discussing that.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about getting your business from 500,000 to 1 million, 1 million to 2, 2 to 5, 5 to 100, majority of people can't relate to that conversation. Being an accountancy practice owner, you get in that circle very easily. By driving the car that you drive,
Yeah.
you now get invited to the events where you meet these people who think the way that we probably should be thinking, but our community hasn't allowed us to do
Or you
that.
talk yourself into that circle.
It takes a long time.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But you've got to move fast. You've got to move quick in business, especially with the emergence of AI and stuff like that. Like
At the moment, AI is unreal. Like
Yeah.
what we were just talking about, Claude, that is unreal what
Yeah.
that's done today. Final question. If you had to give your younger self advice, what would it be?
design, build, and execute.
Oof,
Yeah.
design. Look at this
Yeah,
guy.
just your life. Like your life can be wild. It can be crazy. I'm nothing special. I know you're very special. We're not anything special, right? We are normal guys. We're normal guys from the middle of Cov. Yeah. We didn't grow up with silver spoons. We didn't have any of that. We just knew that there was more. And dream about it. Dream about what you want to live. The first time my client took me to Dubai, we ate in a restaurant in the middle of Dubai, in the Burj Khalifa. And I'm looking out of this restaurant on the 30th floor, and I'm looking out at these buildings being built. And I said to him, his name's Andy. I said, Andy, do people live here? I said, oh, is it just like a show thing? Is it just like kind of a bit of a model, you know? He said, Aaron, people live here. People live here. People go to work here. People live in these buildings. And he's just like, no, mate. People live in Cov, in our 3-bedroom houses.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, that's not life here. And then literally 9 years later, I'm living in that building that I was looking at, saying, do people live there? And now I live in that building, looking back at where we had that. And it is, my wife's like, why do you spend every night like on the balcony looking at the Burj Khalifa? I was like, because 9 years ago, I never believed this would be my life. I was doing tax returns for 200 quid and thinking it was a good life, you know, I had a baby, I was building the office, I had this little practice, I had 4 staff helping me out. I never believed that it could be done. But I set myself a mission that this is what my life is going to look like. I'm going to have a nice house, I'm going to have nice cars, I'm going to have a hot wife, I'm going to have these kids, and I'm going to fly around the world, you know? And look, what makes me say that life is short, I moved there in August, and on February the 27th, I'm playing a paddle tournament, and while I look up and I think that there are fireworks going off, and people are saying, Aaron, those aren't fireworks, bro. Those are missiles being intercepted above our head. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I'm living in a war zone. I'm a protected kid from Coventry. Like, this is stuff that you see on the news. You know, we don't live this life. We live in England. And now my dream is turning into a nightmare. But you can do one of the things. You can rush back home. We can go, we've got to get out of here. Because I'm living on the 45th floor. If something hits the building, we're not escaping. You know? And I've got 2 young children. But I was lucky enough that I then flew to the Maldives. I had 2 weeks in the Maldives. And then went to Thailand, 2 weeks in Thailand. And then went to Bali, 2 weeks in Bali. Like, and I love flying. I never believed that I could create a life where I could do that. And then come back. And the weather here is amazing at the moment. And live this life in the UK. And then get up and go if I want to. You know? I never believed it could happen. But if you design it and focus on that design and then build it, and then once you've designed it and built it, it's now ready to go.
Yeah.
You're now ready to launch this rocket.
Time to cook.
Yeah. Like, are you ready to press the button? Then you book the flights and you book the schools. You're like, I'm doing this. I'm off. I'm off.
That's amazing though.
Yeah, it's incredible.
If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands.
100%.
That's one of the best Best quotes I've ever come across.
100%. And if you really want to be successful, get out your comfort zone. We can all go to our office and we can all go to our job that we are so used to doing. But if you can move abroad, learn a new way of life, learn a new culture, learn a new language, experience something completely different, and open your eyes to the possibilities of the world, when you come back, you could be phenomenal.
That's amazing. Arun, I appreciate you.
No problem, man.
On the real, and I will say this on camera, we've been here for 2 hours, give or take, hour and a half.
Yeah.
I've known you for 20 years.
Yeah.
The amount that I've just learned about you, the manner in which you've changed, that to me, honestly, that's unreal, man.
Thanks, man.
No, genuinely, hand on heart. You have grown from being, I'm never going to call you a spoiled boy, but when I first met you, you've never been a preppy boy,
No.
but you was very prim and proper.
Yeah.
And now looking at you, I know that I've got a solid friend, but I also know that throughout that period of time that me and you have been together, we've both grown. But the beauty of it is we've grown together.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I've 100% taken from this is you've said it all the way throughout. And it shows the level of respect you got for me as well, which I love it. You've always said throughout this last 1.5 hours, we knew there was more. So you see in me what other people don't, which is amazing. So honestly, hand on heart, man, I thank you.
Problem.
Love you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you. My bro.